What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you are watching The Road to TF5. This is just a web series where I talk about Transformers 5. This is episode number 1, and that's right, I said that this is The Road to TF5. This is the web series that I've been talking about. This is the web series that you guys have all been anticipating, because what we're going to talk about in this web series is the road, or rather, the journey to Transformers 5. And it could be a long journey, it could be a short journey, but what it's going to be is a journey, because I'm going to bring that journey to you through this web series. We're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff with regards to what is going to happen in Transformers 5, the production of Transformers 5, and all the little news tidbits about Transformers 5. And you know, right now there's not a whole lot of news because it's still really early. Transformers Age of Extinction is still in release in various parts of the world. In fact, it hasn't even come out yet in Japan, Spain, and Venezuela. It comes out this weekend, and currently it's at $1 billion at the worldwide box office, and it's probably gonna surpass Transformers Dark of the Moon. So because of that, obviously there's going to be another huge money-making sequel for Paramount Studios. So that's why we're here to make conversation in this web series, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to generate conversation, discussion, and most importantly, speculation. Speculation is a lot of fun. Speculation is what keeps the fandom going, and this is what we're here to do. We're here to speculate, and we're here to talk about all the things that we would like to see for Transformers 5, and that's why this web series exists. All right? So, with regards to the news, there isn't a whole lot of news, so you're probably wondering, what am I here to talk about? Well, one of the most latest news tidbits about Transformers 5 isn't even really about Transformers 5, but it's more about Michael Bay and Paramount Studios. Now, you guys might have already read this, but I'm going to talk about it here in this video, and that is, the headline reads in this article, and that is, Paramount decides having Michael Bay stick around is a good idea. So what it says in this article, in summary, is that Paramount Studios extends Michael Bay's deal, or rather contract, for another 3 years. That means that he will be directing and producing movies for Paramount Studios for another 3 years. Okay? Now let's just read the exact quote from Paramount Chairman and CEO Brad Grey. With an ever-growing worldwide fan base, Michael is truly one of the most inspired and beloved filmmakers of our time. We take great pride in the fact that Michael is part of the Paramount family, and we look forward to growing our productive and successful partnership. Now let's read what Michael Bay said. Over the years, I have become part of the Paramount family. There is a synergy that feels different than any other place in Hollywood. From Brad Grey and Rob Moore, where my relationship goes back more than a decade, to my very good friend Adam Goodman and Philippe Dowman, who has put so much trust in me, and with the most powerful marketing of Josh Greenstein and Megan Colligan, Paramount makes for a very comfortable place to work. So, you know what? They said a lot of stuff, but what does this really mean? What it really means is that Paramount is going to give Michael Bay a job for another 3 years. His contract lasts for those 3 years. So Michael Bay will continue to be employed for Paramount Studios. So what does that mean for Transformers? Well, it doesn't exactly confirm that he's directing Transformers 5. It just means that he will be directing films for Paramount Studios. And, well, I'm sure they're talking about it. I'm sure they have talked about it. But they probably won't announce it yet, even if it is for sure that Michael Bay is going to be returning to direct another Transformers sequel. Now, what can happen in 3 years? Well, let's look back at what has happened in 3 years. In 3 years, the only thing that I can think of that ever took place in a magic number 3 is 2 films. Pain and Gain and Age of Extinction. But before the announcement of Pain and Gain and Age of Extinction, there was the announcement that Michael Bay had a contract with Paramount Studios where he would be directing 2 films, one of them being a smaller film. And then there was that announcement. The announcement being that that small film was going to be his passion project, Pain and Gain, and then the other film would be his big film, and that would be another Transformers sequel, Transformers Age of Extinction. So what does this lead to? Okay, even though we aren't really confirming anything, what does this news lead to? It means that in the 3 years, Michael Bay will be directing a small film and also another big film that takes 2 years to produce. And what takes 2 years to produce? Transformers 5. Why did I pause? I was about to say Transformers Age of Extinction. Transformers 5. A Transformers sequel takes 2 years to produce. Okay? There's just a lot of work involved. But for a small film like Pain and Gain, doesn't take that much time. It takes a lot of time, but it doesn't take 2 years. So what I think is going to happen is that Michael Bay is going to be directing a smaller film. Perhaps his elephant movie. I don't know. And then that will give Michael Bay a little bit of a break from explosions, and then he will be back to direct another Transformers film. Now, why wouldn't Paramount want to keep Michael Bay around? There is no reason why Paramount would want to let Michael Bay go. All the Transformers films make close to $1 billion. I mean, the first one made $700 million. The second one made $800 million. The Dark of the Moon made $1.1 billion. And Age of Extinction is also about to make another $1.1 billion. There is no reason why they would let him go. Screw the critics. Critics mean nothing. The Transformers films are absolutely critic-proof. Okay? It doesn't matter if it gets 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. It doesn't matter if it gets 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. These films are critic-proof. As long as they know how to market their films, which they do, and as long as they know how to pander their films to China, which they do, then they are going to continue to be making billion-dollar box office films. Okay? So I'm going to throw this out there. I'm just going to call it, okay? Michael Bay is going to direct a small film for 2016, okay? And then he will have completed working on that film in 2015, of course. I mean, at the end of 2015. And then he's going to start work on the next Transformers film in early 2016 for a summer 2017 release. I'm going to call it right there, okay? And that's what I believe. And you know what? Paramount wants Michael Bay to direct Transformers 5. Hasbro wants Michael Bay to direct Transformers 5. Steven Spielberg wants Michael Bay to direct Transformers 5. Okay? So, the likelihood of Michael Bay directing Transformers 5 is very, very high. And I think it's going to come out in 2017. Okay? I mean, all the fingers point towards it coming out. All the fingers point towards Michael Bay directing a Transformers 5 film for 2017. I mean, after this big announcement from Paramount. So there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this video. In the next video, we're gonna talk about some rumors that are going around. And we're gonna talk about if these rumors are true or are they false. Okay? And of course, there's lots of other speculative stuff to talk about. So this is the channel that you want to subscribe to. If you want to talk about Transformers 5, and if you want to know about news about Transformers 5, if you want to know all the latest news and all the up-to-date news about Transformers 5, subscribe to this channel. Because I covered Transformers Dark of the Moon, I covered Transformers Age of Extinction extensively, and I'm going to do the same thing for Transformers 5. And I'm going to make these 3 years go by for you very, very fast, just like I did for Age of Extinction. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @RaginNation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. To number 5, and that is the KSI, led by Joshua Joyce.